Have you ever been at a family dinner or sitting with friends when suddenly, out of nowhere, someone throws that question at you? So, when are you getting married? Why don't you have kids yet? How much do you earn? In that instant, you freeze. Not because you don't have an answer, but because you don't want to give one. Yet, you feel the pressure. Because society has built this little lie we've all swallowed, that honesty is always the best policy. But let me challenge that. Honesty is only valuable when it's safe. Honesty is only valuable when it's earned. Not everyone has earned the right to your truth. And so today, I want to free you from the guilt. I want to give you permission to see lying not as deception, but as a shield. A form of self-care. A way of saying, I choose my peace over your curiosity. Here are powerful reasons why lying, when people cross into your private life, is not only okay but, sometimes, the healthiest choice you can make. Asterisk, we live in a world where privacy is treated almost like a luxury. Items, something rare, expensive, and difficult to hold onto. But let me tell you this, privacy is not a privilege, it's a human right. You wouldn't give the keys to your house to anyone who casually said, "Hey, can I take a look inside?" Why? Because your home is your safe space. It holds your valuables, your secrets, and your personal life. You instinctively know not everyone deserves entry. The same is true of your inner world, your thoughts, your struggles, your relationships, your dreams. Not everyone deserves access. But here's the problem. Society has trained us to feel guilty for protecting that privacy. If you dodge a question, you're being rude. If you deflect, you're hiding something. And if you lie, you're labeled dishonest. But let's challenge that. Lying, in this case, isn't dishonesty, it's defense. It's you saying, I refuse to hand over the keys to my private world just because someone feels entitled to them. Let's be real. Many people ask invasive questions, not out of care, but out of curiosity or comparison. They want to measure your life against theirs. They want to gossip later. They want to judge. So why should you feel obligated to serve them the truth on a silver platter? Protecting your privacy through a harmless lie is a way of reclaiming your personal power. It creates a barrier, a filter. It says, you may knock on the door of my life, but I decide whether or not you step inside. That's not selfish, it's healthy. And let's not forget, too much honesty can backfire. Share your salary with the wrong person, and suddenly you're dealing with jealousy or gossip. Open up about a relationship struggle, and you invite unsolicited advice or worse, judgment. But if a lie, something as simple as, oh, I'm doing fine, or work's going great, spares you that drama, then isn't that the smarter, healthier choice? Privacy is your right. It's not something you have to earn, justify, or apologize for. And if lying is the tool you need to protect it, then let it be your shield. Don't hand it to just anyone who demands it. One of the most liberating realizations you can have in life is this: your truth is a gift, not an obligation. Just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean they have earned the right to your honesty. Think about it when a stranger on the street asks for your phone number. Do you hand it over because honesty is important? Of course not. You protect yourself. You decide who gets that information and who doesn't. The same goes for your personal life. Your truth is like a diamond, valuable, rare, and meant to be shared with people who will treat it with respect, not with people who will toss it around carelessly. Here's the harsh reality. Some people ask questions not because they care, but because they want material. Material to gossip, to judge, to compare, to criticize. If someone asks, "Why are you still single?" and you open up vulnerably, what do you get in return? Often not compassion, but opinions, judgments, or even pity. And let me tell you, something pity is not love, and unsolicited opinions are not support. This is where lying becomes powerful. A protective lie like, "Oh, I'm just focusing on myself right now," can end a conversation without giving them ammunition. It's not betrayal, it's wisdom. You've saved your truth for the people who actually care, the ones who have earned the privilege of hearing it. The key here is remembering that access to your truth is not automatic. It's like a membership. You don't hand it out freely. People earn it through trust, consistency, and respect. If someone hasn't proven they can hold your truth gently, then a lie isn't deception, it's preservation. Let's be honest, setting boundaries is hard. It often feels awkward, confrontational, even selfish. When someone crosses a line, saying, "That's private, I don't want to talk about it," can feel harsh. And sometimes you don't want to start a debate about your right to privacy. You just want peace. That's where lying comes in. Lying can be a softer, easier way to set boundaries. It's like using a detour instead of a roadblock. Instead of saying, "Stay out," you simply redirect them down a path that feels safe for you. For example, if someone asks, "How much money do you make?" you could launch into a lecture about boundaries, or you could smile and say, "Oh, I do well enough." That little white lie closes the conversation without confrontation. It's not about dishonesty, it's about protecting your space while keeping the peace. Think of lies as verbal seatbelts. They protect you when conversations take dangerous turns, and they prevent crashes, uncomfortable arguments, awkward silences, unnecessary conflicts. Instead of slamming on the brakes, you gently steer away. Now, this doesn't mean lying is the only way to set boundaries. Of course, direct honesty has its place. But let's be real, not every situation allows for that. If you're in a family gathering, at work, or around people who simply don't respect boundaries, a protective lie is your way of saying, I'm drawing a line, but I'm doing it gracefully. Asterisk, let's talk about the mental cost of honesty. How many times have you shared something personal and then felt the weight of regret later? You lie awake at night thinking, why did I say that? What are they going to think of me now? Tell others. That's the hidden tax of oversharing stress and anxiety. Here's the truth. Honesty is not always freeing. Sometimes it traps you. Sometimes it creates more stress than silence ever would. And that's where lies become powerful, because they cut off the spiral before it even begins. Imagine this. Your coworker asks why you didn't get promoted. If you tell the full truth, that you were passed over, that you're struggling, it opens doors to gossip, pity, and whispers. But if you say, oh, I decided to focus on other priorities right now, you've just ended the conversation. No stress, no sleepless nights, just peace. Protective lies are like stress shields. They keep you from carrying the burden of other people's judgments, opinions, or curiosity. They prevent unnecessary explanations, which often drain your mental energy. And most importantly, they give you control over how much of yourself you share. Remember, your mental health matters more than someone else's curiosity. If lying helps you feel lighter, calmer, and safer, then it's not wrong. It's wise. It's you choosing your well-being over their need to know. And that is one of the most powerful acts of self-care you can practice. Asterisk. Here's a question for you. If you tell the truth to someone who doesn't respect you, is that bravery or betrayal? The world often glorifies honesty as this ultimate virtue. But let's be real. Truth without safety is self-betrayal. When you hand over your truth to someone who will twist it, use it against you, or throw it back in your face, you are not being noble. You are abandoning yourself. Think of it like this. Imagine you own a priceless painting. Would you lend it to someone who has a history of damaging things? Of course not, because that would be reckless. The same is true of your truth. If you share it with unsafe people, you're putting yourself at risk. And that's not bravery. That's neglect. This is where lying becomes self-loyalty. A small lie to someone untrustworthy is a way of saying, I value myself too much to hand over my vulnerability to you. It's a way of protecting the most fragile, beautiful parts of who you are. People sometimes say, but isn't lying. inauthentic, and I say, no. What's inauthentic is forcing yourself to reveal truths to people who haven't earned them. Authenticity doesn't mean telling everyone everything. It means being true to yourself. And sometimes, the truest thing you can do for yourself is protect your inner world with a shield of lies, so never let anyone guilt trip you into full honesty when honesty isn't safe. If your truth is a treasure, then lying is the lock that keeps it secure. And protecting your treasure is not wrong, it's the ultimate act of self-respect.